Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now celebrating 17 years of broadcasting success, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, both for our radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com. We're glad that you all could be with us. Also, those joining us are our online affiliates around the world, including our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcasts. We're glad you all could be with us as well. You guys know I have not gotten on a plane since March of 2020, and I, like many Americans, were very excited about the new guidance from the CDC indicating that it is safe for those fully vaccinated Americans to get back out there and to get traveling. Believe it or not, though, many are beginning to plan their summer vacations, but in a new way. In a new report, Airbnb is showing that travelers are opting for remote and off-the-beaten-path destinations this summer instead of the regular locations. Here to talk to us more about this and maybe even share some more travel trends, we're excited to welcome back to our program today Cassidy Blackwell. Cassidy is the Director of International Communications at Airbnb. Cassidy, it is always a pleasure having you back on with us.
Cyrus, thank you so much for having me. Thrilled to be here with you this morning.
Yeah, so this is really interesting. So why do you think then, Cassidy, that people are being drawn to these remote travel destinations now that we can kind of move out and about where we want?
So, I think the reality is everybody's been stuck inside doing the same thing, self-isolated and social distancing for over a year, and they're just ready to get back outdoors. And as a result, we are anticipating a once-in-a-lifetime travel rebound. So we're seeing travelers trading crowded cities, and they're using Airbnb to book open-air adventures in the great outdoors. We know Memorial Day is the unofficial start of summer, and we are already starting to see things heat up for the summer travel season. And at Airbnb, we have seen a 40% increase of searches for stays in remote and rural destinations over the last month. So we're seeing things like people searching for farm stays in the countryside and cabins next to national and state parks. And for the more adventurous travelers, they might be looking for a yurt or a geodesic dome in a desert. For people who are looking for a lot of space, I actually have something really exciting to share with you. We just listed an entire mountain on Airbnb, a whole entire mountain. It's out in Big Sky, Montana. It's got 6,000 acres of private access to just 2 guests, and it's hosted by a world-famous mountaineer named Conrad Anker. It's going to be an exceptional once-in-a-lifetime stay. So, we've had this year of isolation. People are ready to get back to traveling. They're going to these off-the-beaten-path destinations so that they can get up close and personal with nature and immerse themselves in more wide-open spaces.
I love that, Cassidy. Great information. Well, Cassidy, we have talked about in the past year that not only, of course, is this a great opportunity for travelers, but also for those who are looking to be hosts as well. Talk to us about that. I mean, what is the expectation then for those who are looking to be hosts when it comes to Airbnb?
Yep. So, as I mentioned, we are expecting this huge travel boom this summer. And coupled with that rural travel trend, that could mean a potential windfall for Airbnb hosts. So right here in Mississippi, rural hosts have earned a total of nearly $4 million since the pandemic was declared last March. And the typical rural host in Mississippi, get this, the typical host has earned nearly $3,300 in that same time period. So as we look forward to the summer, given the fact that we're expecting this massive travel rebound and that people are visiting more off-the-beaten-path destinations, now is a fantastic time to start hosting, especially if you live in a rural community.
I love that. That is great information, and glad to know that people here in my home state are being able to benefit during this time, Cassidy. Thank you for that information. So, I mentioned, of course, the CDC guidance that we got, welcoming news for those, of course, who are fully vaccinated, but that does, of course, bring up the issue of vaccinations in Cassidy. As more Americans are being vaccinated, are you showing that that's contributing to the travel trends that you guys are reporting on?
We absolutely are seeing that drive some of these travel trends. So getting vaccinated is 100% helping to drive that consumer confidence in traveling this summer. And where we're really seeing that is actually among seniors. Seniors are the most vaccinated population in the entire United States. And in the U.S., we saw a 60% increase in summer trip searches on Airbnb by U.S. guests 60 and over in March as compared to February. So 60% increase in March compared to February. That's incredible. But for all people, I think vaccines are giving us a ray of hope. It's giving us that light at the end of a long, dark tunnel, and it's giving people confidence to get back out there, to start to travel again. And they're using travel to reconnect with the loved ones that they haven't seen in a year and have these meaningful travel experiences.
Well, Cassidy, the last thing I want to ask you, since you are seeing this big boom that's heading in for summer, and that means, of course, that a lot of people are going to be looking for these opportunities, do you have any advice for our audience about starting? I mean, is it too soon for them to start planning their summer, or is now the perfect time?
Now is the time. That is great. That is my number one trip for people who are thinking about traveling this summer, is to book early, book extra early. If you're thinking about taking a vacation this summer and you haven't already booked an Airbnb listing, do it now. As I mentioned, we have this huge pent-up demand, and so it's really, really important to start your planning process and book earlier. I've been personally filling my Airbnb wish list, and the time to book is now. But also at the same time, we're seeing people have more flexible schedules. Remote working is still really popular. It's summer vacation. We've got long weekends coming up. And we actually have a new feature on Airbnb called Flexible Dates. And this will allow you to search for a weekend or a week or even a month. And it doesn't necessarily fix you to exact dates. So the Flexible Dates feature is a really easy way to make it simpler and easier to book an Airbnb this summer.
Love that. Cassidy, you always come through. Again, everyone, Cassidy Blackwell has been our guest, the Director of International Communications at Airbnb. Head over to Airbnb.com for more information and to book your plans now for this summer. Cassidy, thank you so much again for the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. Always a pleasure.
Hey, the pleasure is definitely all ours, Cassidy, and we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.